The assessment proved promising, but now came the challenge of designing a workable model.
After the assessment stage and establishing the conceptual viability of their approach, Clarkson team was ready to move into the design phase.
There are a lot of questions.
So how are we going to dispose of them and stuff like that? That's one of my questions.
How will the used vegetable oil be filtered?
We were pretty happy with the quality of the oil and stuff and the particle size that was in the oil that we sampled at the casino.
I'm just wondering how we can get the glycerin out of here.
How much UVO will be needed to make a biodiesel plant sustainable? How much will the materials and equipment cost? And how do you build a safe facility?
The more we really look into a biodiesel production facility, I guess you would say the harder it's kind of turning out to be.
The safety of it is what worries me. To put a chemical reaction in a transfer station.
That and the size of this project, to be able to get it as professional as it needs to be, I think we're going to end up spending a lot more money than we originally planned on the equipment.
With the smaller amounts like that, that's driving the cost per gallon way up as far as producing the biodiesel, right?
But we made a promise here that we were going to do something with this oil that's going to help the tribe. So it's time now to think out of the box.
We've obviously come over some challenges, but that's what we do, and we work through them, do research, and figuring out a way to solve any problems that we come with.
Over the summer, I was at a biofuels conference with my father, and one school district presented their idea. They used vegetable oil, filtered it, mixed it with diesel, and then ran it through their buses.
So let me make sure I understand this right. They just filter the used vegetable oil and then they blend it with diesel fuel and then run it in there. Yeah, I have some concerns about that. I would need to find out more information. Like, I'm wondering what impacts that has on the engines.
The only major maintenance was switching the fuel filter once more during the season.
It sounds like we'd start looking in this direction instead of the biodiesel direction. It sounds like we've got a good plan. We started with an estimation, actually, of oil that was a lot larger than the actual amount that was coming from the casino. So we did our estimation of the biodiesel plant on a larger quantity. It was a big change. All of a sudden, everything that they had planned so far seemed like it was scrapped.
What we were trying to do before with the biodiesel solution was pretty revolutionary. It hadn't been done before on such a small scale and been financially viable. But now when we're using the vegetable oil, we know that this has been done before. It's been done in school districts with school buses, and we know it's been done before.
That's a really crucial part of any design is, understanding what's been done. It's kind of silly to, basically reinvent the wheel.